This is XANDZ Horror Movie Reviews, and tonight we're reviewing the Mothman Prophecies. This is part of our No Spend Trend video series. This one is on STARZ, so you don't have to go to the theater and blow $100. You can stay home and watch it and enjoy a good movie. And this one is a super atmospheric, spooky movie. Loved it, 2002, from Mark Pellington. All right, we're gonna go to Z first to find out what he thought of this film and what Generation Z might think of this.
Gen Z is gonna like this movie a lot because it's focused around a cryptid, a myth, the legend, the Mothman. Everyone knows who the Mothman is. If you're Gen Z, you know who the Mothman is. We love the Mothman. We grew up with cryptids, watching YouTube videos all about cryptids. It's one of our things. We love it. So seeing a movie about a cryptid, especially this one in specific, is a dream come true. I wish there was more content based around cryptids than just YouTube videos. I found that the twists in this movie with like the prophecies, you know, hence the name, the Mothman Prophecies, the way that they took their own spin on a prophecy instead of it being this unchangeable future that's preset, you can't do anything about. They changed it up. You can change it, which is really nice to see, because in a lot of games, movies, a prophecy, by the time they introduce that idea, the suspense is gone in the entire movie, because you know that whatever the prophecy is gonna happen. And so by the time it happens, you're like, okay, and so everything in between it being announced and it happening, you don't really care because you're like, it was gonna happen anyway. Nothing changed. It's like, okay, I guess that was maybe mildly entertaining, but that's just not what they did. They changed it up. They make it to where you do matter in this movie. The fact that the Mothman is very, I'll say modern. It's a very modern. It's not very ancient. It's not old.
It's not a werewolf.
It's not a werewolf. It can be real, and there's so many reports of it being in existence. It's, you know, existing. It's like, it's possible. And so the idea of it being real is so cool because it's so possible. It's like when you're looking at the Loch Ness Monster picture, you're like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. That one didn't really strike me as one maybe picture. Maybe no. But this, I'm like, okay, all right, this is some serious stuff, and like the tragedies are amazing. The fact, all of it, every part of the Mothman, which, you know, the tragedies are part of it. That's what I meant. Beautiful. Speaking of tragedy in this movie, near the end, the main character is told by the Mothman that there will be a tragedy by a certain canal or river. It's a river? Okay. The river, and there is a chemical plant that he thinks the tragedy is going to take place in. So he warns the people there's going to be, you know, chemical plant, like tragedy, it's going to be awful. And then it doesn't happen. So he's confused. He's like, what is going on? But by the very end of the movie, he ends up on a bridge. And then he realizes that the tragedy would be the collapse of the bridge that he's on. And so it's a nice twist. You're like, hey, there you go. Like, it was nice to see, because you're not expecting, you're like, oh. And of course that ties in with a real life event that happened with the bridge collapsing. So it's all very cool. That's what I've got. I mean, other than that, the characters just overall could have done, you know, a better job there. They weren't massively entertaining. They did what they needed to do. Other than that, this movie is fantastic. Gen Z will get a lot out of this movie. Passing it over to you.
Okay, all right. Like I said before, this is a super atmospheric movie, and this is from Mark Pellington, who is a director that has a lot of experience making music videos, and that shows, and it brings, I think, to you a lot of the modern touches to it. So he's crazy with the lighting, the dark kind of color palette, The score is very spooky. All of his sequences are a little just off as far as camera angles and stuff goes. Like it's done in a unique way, in a very horror movie-esque way. So that's going to be cool if you like that kind of thing. Also, it's cool because it's based on an actual book from when the bridge did collapse in Point Pleasant. And there were a lot of deaths. And there were a lot of Mothman sightings before this event. So it's a book. That book gets into a lot more than is featured in this movie. A lot more of the lore and whatever else is going on there. Aliens, Men in Black, like it gets...
Men in Black?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh wow,
absolutely.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on there, but anytime you have a horror movie based on true events, like, I'm there. I gotta see it. Gen X also loves their cryptids, without question. So another aspect of this movie that I really, really liked in particular, it's just a small touch, but whenever they do like the mysterious drawings, like one person draws some horrific demonic image and then they travel to the next state and somebody else is drawing the same picture, like, yep, love it. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason.
That, it was very cool.
I'm a sucker for that. So the Mothman is this creature that people see, and it always has glowing red eyes, which is something that I had in common with the Mothman a couple of days ago, because it's springtime in Florida here, and the pollen gets underneath my contact lenses, and then my eyes were glowing red, hence my glasses today. But the sightings were always a portent of tragedy to come in the future, which they do a good job of presenting that in the movie as well. As far as the cast goes, Richard Gere, of course, is the lead, and he's playing Richard Gere. Laura Linney plays opposite him, and she does, a decent job as far as what she's supposed to do. Will Patton is always good. And Alan Bates does a nice turn here, bringing a little drama and a little something different to the cast. And other than that, the movie really is about the mystery of this Mothman. Right? So we've spoiled a little bit of it, but not everything. There's plenty of surprises left. If you haven't seen this one, like I said, it's on STARZ right now. It's worth a watch. It's really good stuff. Earlier in the review, you had said you would like more of this material. So I will tell you that Mark Pellington in 2023 announced he's working on a streaming series for this.
All right. That sounds like my kind of bag of chips.
Exactly. Okay, so Mothman Prophecies, nice, scary watch. Just exactly what it's supposed to be. That'll do it for our review of the Mothman Prophecies. I'm X.
I'm Z.
And as always, we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.